Finding area of circles practice. Number 1, what is the formula for area of a circle? Well, we learned yesterday when we were working on our notes that the area of a circle equals pi times the radius squared. What does each letter represent? A is area. This symbol is pi. And the R represents the radius. Now you need to remember that diameter is from one side of the circle to another, passes through the center. Radius starts at the center point and only goes halfway through the circle. So for area, we're focusing on radius. Okay? Alright, so for number 2, what is the radius of the circle below? We're not finding area, we just want to know what the radius is. This line goes all the way across, that means that this is the diameter. If radius is half of the circle, then divide the diameter by 2, and that will give you your radius. The radius is 3.1 centimeters. Let's try number 3. Find the area. First thing we do is this 1, 2, 3 step, just like with circumference. Your first step is to write the formula. A equals pi r squared. Step 2, plug in the correct values. Area equals 3.14 times the radius. This is halfway through, so this is the radius. 32 squared. Now remember, the order of operations says that we do exponents first, so I'm going to square 32. That means 32 times 32. 3.14 times 32 squared is 1,024. Make sure you're pausing the video as I'm working this out to make sure you are getting all of these notes down. When I multiply 1,024 by 3.14, I get 3,215.4 inches squared. Now, pause the video, try number 4, and once you're finished, hit play and check to make sure you got the right answer. Number 4, first thing we do is write down the formula. Area equals pi r squared. Number 2, area equals pi times the radius. This is halfway through, so this is my radius. 1.2 squared. 1.2 squared is 1.44. That means 1.2 times 1.2. I multiply that by 3.14 and round to the nearest tenth. The area is 4.5 centimeters squared. Number 5, find the area. First thing we do is write down the formula. Area equals pi r squared. Area equals 3.14 times the radius. This is going all the way across, so this is my diameter. To find the radius, divide that by 2, and you will get that the radius is 3. So plug in 3 squared. Area equals 3.14. The radius squared is 9. And 9 times 3.14 is 28.26, which rounds to 28.3 centimeters squared. It's area, so our unit is squared. Number 6, first thing we do is write down the formula. Area equals 3.14 times the radius. This is going straight across, so this is the diameter. Divide 18 by 2 and you will get that the radius is 9. And plug that in. 9 squared is 81. Multiply 81 by 3.14. And you will get that the area is 254.3 square inches. Number 7, find the area of a circle that has a radius of 3.4 inches. Area equals pi r squared. Area equals 3.14 times the radius, which is 3.4 squared. Square your radius first. That's 3.4 squared is 3.4 times 3.4. That's 11.56. Multiply that by 3.14. And you will get 36.3 square inches. Number 8, find the area of a circle that has a diameter of 12.7. It's the diameter, so I need to divide 12.7 by 2 to find the radius. My formula is area equals pi r squared. I'm plugging in 3.14 for pi and 6.35 for the radius. 6.35 squared is 40.3225. And I'm not going to round until the very end. So I'm going to multiply by 3.14. And that will give me 126.6 meters squared. All right, let's try a word problem. Number 9, George's circular swimming pool needs a new liner for the bottom. The diameter of the pool is 15 feet. What is the area of the bottom of the pool? So area equals pi r squared. Plug in 3.14 for pi, and the radius. It says that the diameter is 15. So we divide 15 by 2 and get a radius of 7.5. We need to square the radius. 7.5 squared is 56.25. Multiply that by 3.14 and you will get 176.6 square feet. This is a challenge, so this is above and beyond our basic knowledge of area. It says that the material for liner is sold as a big square. If the square has a side length of 15 feet, about how many square feet of material will be left over after the circular liner is cut out? So first thing we're going to do is find the area of this square. It's a square, so to find the area of a square, we're going to multiply the length times the width, and that is 225. Then we subtract the area of the square. That's the whole liner that they're sending you. Subtract how much you need of the circular liner, and that is 48.3. So you'll have about 48.3 square feet left over. Number 10, Lauren is painting a piece of art on a circular canvas. She knows she has enough paint to cover about 120 square inches. The radius of the canvas is 7 inches. Will Lauren have enough paint to cover? So the first thing I'm going to do is see what is the area of this canvas? Area equals pi r squared. Area equals 3.14 times the radius is 7. And we plug that in. 7 squared is 49. 49 times 3.14 is 153, about 153.9 whenever I round, square inches. It says that she has enough paint to cover 120. 120 is less than the 153.9 that she has, so she will not have enough paint. Alright, here's the challenge. This is above and beyond the area. Lauren plans to cover her artwork in gems. Each gem costs 25 cents. She wants to put 1 gem per every 4 square inches. How much will she spend on the gems? So she has about 154 square inches, and she wants to put 1 gem every 4 square inches. So the first thing we're going to do is 154 divided by 4, and that is 38.5 gems. So she needs 38.5 gems. We're going to multiply 38 times the 25 cents. And that is $9.50. She can't put half of a gem on there. So I'm just going to do the 38 whole gems that she has times 25 cents. And that will be $9.50. The work below has a couple of errors. Describe the errors made and then find the correct answer. Alright, so the first thing they did is write area equals pi r squared. That is correct. Then they wrote area equals pi times 7 squared. It gave us 7 for the diameter. That's not right. They used the diameter instead of the radius. So did not use radius. So then they did 3.14 times 14. Well, 7 squared is not 14. So they didn't use the radius, but then they did not square the radius. They multiplied by 2. And then they have 44 centimeters. They forgot squared. Your units should be squared. Alright, so let's work this out correctly. Area equals pi r squared. Area equals 3.14 times the radius. If the diameter is 7, then the radius is 3.5. So their first error was not using the radius. I put the radius in. Now they multiplied by 2 instead of squaring, so I'm going to square 3.5. And that gives me 12.25. Then I multiply by 3.14, and I get about 38.5 centimeters squared. What is one way you can check your work to make sure you do not make these mistakes? Well, you need to slow down. You need to go through the formula and check to make sure you're plugging the correct numbers into the correct space. So one way you can check your work is make sure you're doing this 1, 2, 3 step. Make sure you're using the radius and make sure that you are squaring it instead of multiplying by 2. Okay, double check your work.